Hello valued viewers, welcome to day 3 of the restoration. So I've already got started and I forgot to turn the camera on, but I have now. So far today we've removed the shocks, all corners, we've removed the rear lights and some various trims. I've removed the rear bumper and it's all nice and clean, which is a lovely surprise. So next today I need to disconnect the fuel tank fully and remove the fuel tank. And then I need to remove the front bumper, which should be pretty easy. Then I need to do some final bits of masking. I need to drop the car, mask some bits up on top, then put it back up, and then the front subframe here needs to come off, so I'm going to need to mock up some support somehow for the engine so the engine doesn't fall out. Find a way of doing that. Remove the fuel and brake lines. They probably, to be honest, don't really need removing, but I figured we might as well do it if we're going to go whole hog, so I've disconnected them at the top already. And that's it, so stand by. Update viewers, most importantly, I now have a kettle, so I can have a hot noodle and a cup of tea, so that's the best improvement yet. Front bumper off, that's pretty easy. Fuel tank off, pretty easy as well. It's got some rust coming on now. It's not the worst I've seen, but needs stripping down and repainting and redoing, so be it. I've got full access to the frame now. Yay, I have access to the frame. It's great. Annoyingly, I've made a doofus error. Don't know why I did this, just not thinking right. I tried to remove the fuel lines and the brake lines, which is moderately easy, but I tried to do it without taking the front subframe off, which is a knobhead thing to do. So I've tried to kind of force it through and scratch the hell out of all the lines now, which completely defeats the point of what I was trying to bloody do. Whoops. So change of plan now. I'm going to have to take the subframe off first, then take the lines off. So lesson learned. Lines always the last thing to come off. Duh brain. So I've got to start thinking about this now. As I said, as soon as I drop it, the engine and the gearbox are going to come out, so I need to build a frame to keep them in somehow. I don't really want to take the power steering rack off because it's just a bitch and it doesn't really need doing. So what I'm doing is temporarily jigging it up to the car. I'm going to disconnect it from the subframe, let it hang, and I'll just paint it in situ, you know, it'll be fine. And then drop the subframe down. Then see what damage I've done to the lines and take it from there. Welcome back viewers. Sometimes my genius knows no bounds. Look at this, beautifully crafted joinery here, which holds the bottom of the engine there and the bottom of the gearbox there. It's all keyed in so it can't actually slip off, and it won't be able to roll that way. It might be able to roll that way, which is a bit of a concern of mine. So I'm going to just chock the engine in a bit to make sure it can't roll left and right. Other than that, I think I'm finally ready to get this stupid subframe off. As well as that, because the engine is now propped at a fixed height, I have to make sure the ramp doesn't drop. So I've just shored up the ramp just to make sure she doesn't decide to drop overnight or over week. Let's try and get this bit off. Welcome back, handsome viewers. Everything off, ready to go. So let me show you what I found. Pretty good, really. I left the handbrakes, the e-brake lines on, because you tend to just replace them rather than redoing them anyway. This wiring loom looks like a bit of a nightmare to remove, so I think I'll just work around that. I mean, I must say, it's an awfully clean car. You know, bearing in mind it's whatever, 25 something years old, more than that. The structure worked beautifully. It just dropped down. It didn't even drop at all. We didn't move at all. And I put some rope just to make sure it doesn't go backwards, but it's not going anywhere. It doesn't even want to move. So the structure is good. The structure is sound. All right. Which begs the question, what next? That was an awful lot to get on with. So I suppose there's two things, either start working on the bits or start working on the car. Probably the bits first. It looks a bit more fun and less painful. So I've just got to start, no, in fact the next thing I've got to do is break some of the subframes down, assemblies down. There's only a few to do actually. These need to come apart, which I can't figure out how to do. I've just realised there's some wishbones stuck on that. Subframe needs to come apart. Ball joints need to come out. Bushings need to come out. In fact, there's a hell of a load to do. So basically all of these assemblies need stripping down to their smallest part is what needs to happen next. After that is assessment time, what stays, what goes, what the things that stay, how are they going to get refurbed. So an awful lot to get on with. But that's all for today. I will see you next week.